Hey guys, Jason here for TheChartGuys, taking a look at our tanker stocks. Another red day, but a few interesting setups and some potential changes on the horizon. And we're going to talk about those. Of course, TK on the daily time frame. Big red day, but what is interesting is this big lower wick. So if we are looking at a daily downtrend, it's very possible we have set a new lower low, and we should be looking for a temporary upswing. So a hourly and 4-hour counter trend to the daily counter trend, from which we will derive our lower high on the daily time frame. Anything underneath our high of 344 is going to give us that level. So one thing we need to do now is start taking a look at what those potential areas of resistance could be. Anything under 344, as I said, would be that lower high, and we'd be looking for something like that. So let's see what's going on. To the downside, we have support at 284. Resistance, again, anything under 344 is going to give us that key level. On the 4-hour time frame, we can see that we have some chop. Tried to change the 4-hour trend, didn't work. Now we're seeing a new low down here, still dealing with an hourly downtrend. So what we need to do in order to change the hourly trend, try and get that lower high under the 344 level, is going to establish, or is we're going to have to establish a new higher low over top of 292. Ultimately, what we're going to look for is a little bit of weakness tomorrow, some bullish follow through, following this big buy up that we've seen. So essentially it would be a 15-minute counter trend. Get that hourly higher low, change the trend, carry that momentum into the rest of the week. That's what we should be looking for right now. So best case scenario, hourly higher low tomorrow into higher highs and upside continuation, 50-minute time frame. What we need to do is, again, change that 50-minute trend, get that higher low, and see what the bulls are able to do. So good potential setup. If we fail to get a new hourly higher low and higher high, we're just going to look for a break of 292 into 284. NAT on the daily time frame. This is an interesting one because we had a little bit of volatility today. Not a lot of follow through on the bear side. We had a flush. We had upper and lower wicks indicating that volatility. But what matters is we managed to hold over 471 in regular trading action. We also have come very close to a key resistance level on the daily time frame, which is 511. And I'm going to get rid of this 485 level because it doesn't matter too much anymore. What we do is we go to the 4-hour time frame, look for some trend development. We don't see a lot here on the 4-hour because our action is so tight. When we get multiple candlesticks without a lot of variance in price action, so a very, very tight range, we go to the sub time frame, and there is where we find our trends. So lower highs, lower lows, still contending with this 510 area of resistance. We have bulls holding, or I should say we should have bears breaking a 48 to set a lower low, still above 471 on the daily, and they set a higher high on the hourly. So what we need to do in this case is set a higher low. Let's ignore that one. I got a little too rambunctious. Higher low over today's low of day into a break of 510. Then we'll start to look a little bit stronger with a target of 550 and a double bottom in the area of 471. So that'd be a potential setup. If we lose 471 tomorrow, again, not a lot of support here on the way down. FRO on the daily time frame. Similar day in the sense that we had a green candle with upper and lower wicks, but we did flush below 730. So what we need to do is start looking at this as a zone of support. And we'll take a look at that on the hourly time frame. On the daily, still in a daily downtrend, new lower lows. So if we see bullish momentum following through, we'll be looking for a lower high under 817. On the 4-hour time frame, trying to look for a little bit of clarity here. And this is where we start to try to find that zone of support. So a zone of support is essentially when you have multiple areas of support, in this case 730, 727, all in the same area. You get a break at one of those levels without any follow through. Maybe you break it by a couple of pennies, you head back up. That means you should think of this as having a big old fuzzy cloud of support, no definitive lines, nothing really clear cut like a triple, quadruple, quintuple bottom at 730, but rather a gentle, breezy cloud of happiness holding the price action above a key zone. So 817 is our resistance, so we need to go over 730 and 727 zone of support. What we're looking for here is going to be an hourly trend change. We've talked about that a few times now. We need a higher low over 727 into a break over 744, in which case we will have that hourly trend change, both setting up for it and getting into position, but they haven't proven that yet. If we break 727 on the daily time frame, 7 psychological is next for us to look at. Let's go to TNP. So TNP also looking interesting. Big flush to 237, our low of day 236. So again, I look at that not as a break of a key support, but the proof and evidence of a zone of support. 236, 237 is going to be very important for us moving forward. Bulls bought the dip in a pretty big way today. Our low was 236. Our closing price, where is that? 254. So about 20 cents. Not a bad spread on the TNP daily candlestick. A lot of momentum going forward if the bulls were the ones who closed the day. And it does look like they have done that. What I'd love to see, and when we check out the 5-minute time frame, I'm always looking for the stories behind these candlesticks. I'd love to see the last part of the day being that straight shot up. So early morning volatility, a drop, and then bulls owning the rest of the day, carrying with them that momentum that they need to have to go into the rest of the week. Not sure what happened with my charts here. Let's get rid of some of these lines. My auto button not working. Too much data. Okay. There we go. All right, so we're going to take a look at the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour downtrend currently in play. So we'll be looking for a lower high under 295, which means that if we have 5-minute momentum, we're going to look for a break over EMA 12 and then set a lower high under 295. Hourly time frame. It does look like the bulls managed to buy that dip and drive the price action into the end of the day. Most of that upper wicks coming from this morning's price action. So hourly bulls have resistance at 262, then 295. Well, let's just go check out that 5-minute time frame for fun, see what we're looking at. And that's pretty much what you want to see going into the end of the day. Some volatility, a low. We had, what was this? A quintuple bottom in the 5-minute time frame. Big show of support in that range of the 237 support. And then after that, proved out, bulls piled it on, carrying momentum into the day with a little bit of a counter trend happening in the last 20-25 minutes. Pretty interesting stuff. SFL, let's take a look at this guy. Still has, oh, I didn't want to do that. I need those key levels back. All right, we're just gonna move on. SFL's got today's low of day of support, and we got 985 support after that. Big volume day, so a relatively interesting move. Again, we took the 5-minute time frame, see who controlled the end of the day, and I suspect it's going to be the bulls. If bulls manage to get things together, they have the option and possibility of changing this big drop into a continued daily uptrend. What they would need to do to accomplish that goal would be to break over 1065, having set a higher low over 985 at 998. On the 4-hour time frame, looking for a little clarity, not finding it. So we're going to go right to the hourly. Hourly time frame, we have lower highs. Well, we've got our 1065, 1051, we got a higher high. Didn't manage to hold that, so we're technically still in an hourly downtrend. We need to establish another higher high over 998 and then break 1065. So not a lot of clarity on the hourly. I would wait until we do see that develop and get that 4-hour trend change. If we can do that, then bulls are going to be in a good position. So the only thing that I see as a big red flag for the overall market is, or I should say for the tankers, is that the overall market has had a pretty significant day by its own right, with a close underneath our EMA 26, which hasn't happened for a little bit. So if we lose 279.13, that's going to carry a weight on these otherwise well-positioned stocks in the tanker sector. Anyway, that's it for today. I hope it was useful, and I wish you luck tomorrow. Let me know if you have any questions. If you want to learn more about ChartGuys, check out chartguys.com. Send me a message, make a comment. Let's chat.